Welcome to this week's edition of the Puppet Show, where we make sense of the real estate industry. My name is Christabel Musime. I am your host, and on set with me is someone that we want to discuss with about when it comes to home technology, when it comes to home electronics. Where by electronics, I don't mean the kitchen gadgets. I don't mean the, simple gadgets that we think of when we talk of home electronics. But when I speak of home electronics, I mean your TV screens, your phones, your laptops, electronics that have tech connected to them. Sheena, it's a pleasure having you on set.
Thank you for having me.
First and foremost, Sheena, what I'd like us to first look at is I want you to actually explain to people, because I keep getting this a lot, where people are wondering if I am to get my home into a tech-savvy home, into a modern home, do I have to actually have a new construction ongoing for me to have to incorporate that? Do I have to change the walls in my home for me to incorporate that? I want you to first address that.
Usually there's a perspective that someone has to break the bank in order to, have all these technologies in their house or home, but it's not usually the case because since it's home to home, it's usually customizable. So we offer packages, and we can also, based on someone's budget, give you advice to maybe do it in phases and all that. So it usually doesn't break the bank as people think it should.
When you speak of break the bank, it makes me think of building management services. But I want to know, what exactly does building management services mean? How do I incorporate that into such a property?
For properties, services, but we usually also say systems, will help the property owner, first of all, know what's happening in the whole building. So when we go to managing the whole building, we're talking of your electrical system in the building, the air conditioning. You notice some tenants will maybe leave the air conditioning on, and you as the property manager, this could come at a cost to you when it comes to maintenance. So this whole system gives you an overview of what's happening to the electrical system, the lighting system, the air conditioning system, and you can control them. You can give your tenants control of them.
How do you control these systems?
Usually attach sensors to some of these systems. For example, if it's lighting management, you'll be able to dim your lights. If someone left it on by mistake, they will be able to switch it off even when they're already at office.
And how is this done?
This is usually done by technologies that involve us, like I said, putting sensors on the lights and then giving you a smart home app, which we connect wirelessly via Wi-Fi to certain controller in maybe like your control room or in your power room. And this gives you control over every device that's in your house, even when you're not in the house.
If you've said the controller is in my power room at home, so how do I control it when I'm not at home?
Usually you have a phone app, which, like I said, when you log in, it will show you your lights maybe in the bedroom, in the living room, and just by clicking on and off, you can be able to switch it off. So whatever we attach to the device communicates with the controller, and the controller communicates with the Wi-Fi. And then in that sense, you're able to do control from your phone.
So if I do not have Wi-Fi connected to my house, I'm not able to have these controlling systems work for me.
There are many other technologies that we use. It's not usually only just Wi-Fi. There are technologies like Zigbee, Z-Wave, RF that can usually communicate even without Wi-Fi. So we usually look at the client's requirements, and then we can advise. You notice like telecommunications, they communicate via RF. So if there's Wi-Fi or not, they'll still be able to communicate through their radios. So even such technologies can be applied in a smart home setting according to the requirements.
Usually when I'm leaving my home, I turn off the lights. I turn them on. When I come back, I have a nanny at home. If in case I left a light on, I can call her and tell her, check my bedroom if the light is on. Why would you advise someone to actually have these services and systems in place?
So when a client comes to us and they want this smart home, some of them it's for the comfort. So if all these people are not at home, they want to have visibility of what's happening in their home. The nannies are away or they're on vacation, they still want to be able to know no door has been opened. So it's not even just about the lights, it's even for security. We can incorporate the security features and all that. So usually it's for the comfort, but minimizing your costs, because if you leave anything on, it's consuming power. It depends on client by client. Some will come and maybe they just don't have a very big need. It's just for their comfort and for their luxury. But in actual sense, these systems can be used to enhance your security and also reduce your electricity cost.
And then I have my door, it's for a key, you have to open with a key. How does this integrate into your system?
We also help clients who already have existing buildings. There are now technologies that can turn analog devices into digital devices. So for example, a light, where we are now, everything is already set up. So if this client, for example, says, I want to automate these lights, we'll just go to the socket and add a small device to their socket, and they'll be able to control it from the phone. So
Really?
yes, so
Interesting.
we can put sensors in these things and they can still be able to control.
I can still control it from the app of my phone.
We usually advise clients to choose, because home is somewhere where someone wants to have their own personal experience.
Yes.
Tell them, choose your lights, choose the sockets you want and all that, and then us as a system integrator will be able to look at what you have and
basically how do you integrate that?
think you're going into smart door locks. We recommend those when maybe a client is starting out their home. But even when you already have this, we'll see which type you have there and see how to integrate it. Sometimes there's need to change it, but also if you have something which we look at the model number and see it can integrate to third-party systems, we can still integrate to it and give you that control. So when we usually talk to a client or meet a client, we like to say we are very solution oriented. So we'll talk to the client and ask them, what's your budget? How much are you willing to spend on this system?
Other than the internet connection that we all know you for, what
Sure.
more do you have to offer?
We have a lot to offer. We have enterprise IT. We have a mechanical and electrical department that deals with solar solutions. So if you come to us, we'll give you the whole solution. So at Blue Crane, we can advise property owners. You can say, I am putting up my building. I want it to be green. I want to incorporate microclimates, make sure I'm contributing to the climate change. We can advise. Consultation is free.
So let's make our lives easy. For Airbnb owners, why do you have to bring a key for someone to check in? All be made easy. All you have to do is your guest is checking in, share with them a passcode, tell them when you get to the door, this is the passcode for the property. Instead of looking at the two-edged sword, why don't you look at the comfortable side of the sword than the discomfort of the sword? Sheena, what are your last remarks to the audience?
So I would encourage people, like I said, not to shy away from these systems. They are here, they are for you. They are not only for the comfort, they will save you money. Come to us. Our offices are at Nyonyi Gardens in Kololo. Consult with us. We will advise. We will tell you which systems are efficient, which systems will make your building green, which systems will make your home smarter. And you can start from there. So people shouldn't really shy away. They should consult and embrace these technologies.
And those were our last words from Sheena. We hope that you've actually understood a few things and you're able to actually plan to change your properties.